Take a trip with me to 2008. America was in a recession. Writers are striking. We can eat clones. Kanye isn't crazy. Rent's Run has ended on Broadway. Mike Myers and Adam Sandler release awful stereotypical characters nearly at the same time. Oh, and Barack Obama has been elected president. Do we thank him for this?
Thanks, Obama.
So, I am bringing this week to the table, You Don't Mess with the Zohan. And I always forget that it's You Don't Mess with the Zohan because around here we just say Zohan.
Right, it's Zohan.
So with
Some of us say Zohan.
With me, as always, my partners in crime, Randy Kirk.
Howdy ho.
And Steve Frazier.
I think I'm in the Zohan. I think I'm in that camp. Zohan.
So, I have previously seen this movie once, and I saw it in theater.
Wow. Good for you.
Yeah.
You were that tempted.
Nope.
Tempted by the fruit of another?
Tempted like no other. It was one of those situations where we had seen everything else, and Zohan was it. How about you two?
Never.
Never seen it.
I had never seen this movie.
So this was the rare... what this podcast is all about is where the other two have not seen this movie.
Yeah, usually it's just one of us because we've all seen a million movies. But on this particular occasion...
what
is that face?
Steve Frazier.
Are you drunk?
No. Why did you want to see this movie?
Well, there's... let's see. How can I phrase this so that it makes sense? I feel like Sandler has three different lanes that he goes down. It's a pick'em, which one you're going to get.
Yeah.
So we've got dramatic Sandler.
Which we all love.
Except I didn't love Punch Drunk Love.
Oh,
but,
I did.
Oh, yeah.
It might be my favorite of his dramatics.
And that's not just me being contrarian, because that's what I do around here.
Yeah.
But sometimes it works in reverse. We'll get to that. But... No, like, dramatic Sandler is fine. Like, we all enjoy and appreciate whenever he does something that's not stupid comedy.
Yeah.
We've got the really stupid Sandler.
Off the rails Sandler.
Off the rails, just completely obnoxious. Your Little Nickies of the world and your Mr. Deeds and the Waterboy and the...
Jack and Jill.
Well...
I'd take a little...
You know what?
Over this
all right.
one.
Hold that thought. We're going to discuss Jack and Jill.
I'm going to hold it.
And then
Put it right in your pocket.
We have middle of the road Sandler, like the general, like, everyday funny man Sandler, the Sandman, the guy that we all know and love. And for me, it's probably mostly everything falls in that middle, and I find all of that enjoyable. It's that 20% that's really stupid that I really don't like, and I could tell just from the trailer that this was going to be in that category, and I said, I ain't having it. I'm not doing it.
It is pretty goofy. I like all three speeds of Sandler. Even the ridiculous, stupid stuff I like, because I really enjoy Little Nicky. And for some of our listeners out there, just get in the flask. I just want to throw that out there for Little Nicky. Just so dumb, ridiculous. And so this one, I wasn't turned off by the silly Sandler movie. I knew that he was a covert hairdresser, and he had a ridiculous accent in the movie.
Sure.
Which he does ridiculous accents quite a bit. We are all three pretty well versed on his comedy albums. He does ridiculous accents all the time. He does over-the-top Sandler. So I knew what I would be getting going into it. It just was something that maybe at the time in 2008, I said, oh, yeah, new Adam Sandler movie. Maybe one day I'll get around to it. And then I just never did.
Let me blow your gentlemen's minds. This film was written in 2000, if you couldn't tell.
What?
Yeah, this movie was written in 2000 and held off because of a little event happening in New York called 9/11.
Oh.
Yeah.
That old thing.
Yeah.
I can see why Smigel might have wanted to hold off on that, yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then I guess, is it too soon? Like, what's the statute of limitations on too soon? Well... Right. I guess it's
7 years.
2008, yeah. 2008.
Now we know.
Yeah. So anybody wanting to make a Lincoln with his brain outside of his head, go for it.
So does that say anytime anybody asks the question, too soon? If it's any shorter than 7 years?
You go 7 years?
It is.
Oh, yeah, too soon.
I usually wait about 7 minutes and then... I start the joking, so. But, I guess getting back to my preconceived, because I kind of talked about why I didn't see it, but my thought about this, I feel like purely based on just the cover art was that he was a hairdresser, and for some reason I had it in my mind that there was like some sort of magic blow dryer or some sort of...
I could see that.
Like it was a weapon or something. Like
Yep.
the blow dryer was a weapon. And that to me was just really stupid. I want to say I saw a trailer with the accents and I was like, I don't understand a goddamn thing he's saying. So maybe...
fun facts with Uncle Do, because you both mentioned the hairdresser thing. This actually has some sort of truthfulness to it. Vidal Sassoon and the main person that is modeled for Zohan, Nezi Arbib.
Okay.
Oh.
Arbib.
I was just going to ask you to spell it.
Both Israeli Special Forces persons and moved to California and did hairdressing.
Vidal Sassoon was Special Forces.
Yes. Israeli special forces.
Sounded like Zohan.
Yeah.
I could understand, dude. So, I had no idea about Vidal Sassoon. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
To think that, the guy on my shampoo bottle is, out there killing motherfuckers.
Right.
And for the other team, right? He was a...
Right. Yep.
He wasn't on our side.
Oh.
Well,
Who wants to use that shit ever again?
I mean...
Boycott Sassoon.
no, he was for technically our side because we have a good relationship with Israel and so on and so forth.
Right.
So he was not the John Turturro portion as I whip my hair back and forth. As I whip my hair back and forth.
Your bald head.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please, can we make no more references to the Smith family on this cast?
No, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
So, just a weird year for 2008. Like I said, Mike Myers also wildly offensive.
Which
The
one was
Love
that?
Guru.
Love Guru. Oh, boy.
Yeah, about
Bad.
maybe 3 or 5 months apart from You Don't Mess with the Zohan.
It had fewer laughs than Zohan.
yeah.
But I still found a few funny parts in Love Guru.
We were talking about this being written way back when.
Yeah.
Do I have it correct that Judd Apatow is a writer on this movie?
Yeah.
Like,
Because they're in that whole little group, Apatow.
Yeah, but he's not in that
Smigel.
group.
He is though. Like they lived together in New York, and if you see little special moments of like behind the scenes stuff, even in Funny People, Apatow's own movie, you hear true to life tape recordings of them fucking around in their New York apartments. Because that's what they did. And that's where Adam Sandler came up from his comedy chops, is those.
But Apatow has, written some critically acclaimed or very funny movies, including 40-Year-Old Virgin, Heavyweights.
Listen,
These
they're
are
not
funny.
all-
Nobody loves heavyweights like the Kirk family.
Oh,
I love a heavyweight.
love Heavyweights. But yeah, he did Funny People, which was great.
Yeah.
This is 40. And then he does You Don't Mess with the Zohan.
Well, as you can tell, he didn't direct it.
Right.
So,
You want to talk about who did?
Denny.
He goes by Denny?
Dennis. Dennis. Or Denny? Yeah.
Dennis Duggan?
Yeah, but he goes...
Is it Dugan or Duggan?
It's Dugan.
Are we sure?
1G.
I think, 1G. Yeah.
1G is
1G.
Dugan.
Yeah.
Hacksaw was 2 Gs.
Yeah.
Hacksaw, not Irish.
Hacksaw, yeah.
Yeah. So he goes by Denny Dugan,
Okay.
and he's might be one of my least favorite directors in the history of directors.
I don't know how you can say that.
I can.
I don't hate him that badly. I don't hate him at all.
Well, just looking at the list here, Dugan directed like 9 Sandler movies, right? Including like some good ones.
Sure.
Like Big Daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did friggin' Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
He did Grown Ups.
Yeah.
He did Just Go With It.
Yeah.
He did Chuck and Larry.
Yeah.
You don't like Chuck and Larry.
Chuck and Larry's one in my 50-50, my 50 negative.
And then there's the Zohan, Jack and Jill Grown Ups 2 category that we're going to talk. But I didn't know until recently that he directed Problem Child.
Yeah,
Did you know that?
I didn't know that before we watched this, and I looked up Dennis Dugan. Denny Dugan?
Denny.
I
Problem
love
Child
Problem
is a childhood favorite of mine. That movie came out when I was 10. The main character probably also 10 in that movie.
Probably, yeah.
So right on in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Problem Child. And John Ritter, you know. Right?
Yeah, I feel like Dugan has only got a few marks on his record, so I don't think that he's that bad. But, dude, you are not a fan.
More than a few marks, and we'll get to that later.
I also just learned in looking at the Wikipedia, did you know that, Randy, did you know that he had an acting role in The Howling?
No, I didn't.
Denny Dugan?
I mean, look at bit part, I'm sure.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sure.
So I wonder, he's probably on the beach somewhere.
Well, wasn't he
he's got a
known
name.
for comedy acting before that? I think he was in like Love Boat and everything of that in that 70s, 80s era.
He did a Columbo.
Right.
He did a Rockford Files.
See.
He did a Moonlighting. He did a MASH.
Yep.
As an actor.
So Denny Dugan acted beforehand, and then somebody decided that he needed to be friends with Adam Sandler.
By the way, Denny Dugan, a resident born and raised in Wheaton, Illinois, which is 45 minutes from where we sit right now.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So anyway, a hometown boy, Denny Dugan.
Let's get back to Zohan.
Yes, let's.
Well, hold on. I'm thirsty.
Oh,
okay. Go ahead. Official sponsor.
Thank you.
Ham's beer from the land of cool blue waters.
I can't do any high pitch because I only have one vocal cord.
So, all right. So you were saying
Don't laugh,
get back into the Zohan. So I feel like as far as acting goes, if we're going to talk about any of the actors at all, I thought that Michael Buffer was a great heel. I liked
How much
him.
do they have to pay Michael Buffer to be in this movie? Now,
a mil per instance of every time he says, "Let's get ready to rumble."
Yeah, but he didn't say that in this.
Did he say it?
I don't think he said it.
He didn't say
so
it.
he didn't get the million, so maybe he gets scale.
He might have said, "Let's get ready to something," but the Rumble was not a part of it.
So he still makes a little
half
bit
a mil,
of that. Yeah,
$250,000.
I just think that you start getting these cameos, and I feel like those dollars add up. You know?
Actually, you're right, because this is the one where, Mariah Carey. Yeah, there was the big payoff, because I remember, Frage, you had said, with the Mariah Carey T-shirts, you said that you loved that Mariah Carey T-shirts kept coming up throughout the movie.
Right.
And then there was the big payoff.
It really only works if she shows up in the movie later on.
And spoiler alert, she did.
Yeah, her fucking face. I hate it. I love her voice most of the time, but I don't want to look at her. Sorry, Mariah Carey, if you're listening to this, I apologize.
I was glad that they got the payoff anyway. But
Sure.
I mean, I'm sure that she wasn't a cheap get. They definitely had to give her a payday to be in it.
No commanding paycheck, as it were, Emmanuel Chigri.
Right.
Okay. Nobody loves Emmanuel Sharigi like me.
I know.
How do you not love? She's a 10.
She's an obscurity. Like, you're going to throw out probably 5 different little-known things that she's been in.
First of all.
The girl from Clock Stoppers.
First of all.
Like, she is a Walmart dollar store version of the chick from The Cutting Edge.
Wow.
Is she the star of the movie that has 2/5 of NSYNC in it? Yes, she is. On the Line is a great movie. However,
nobody's believing Lance Bass as the male lead in that one.
He is a delight. She's a delight. Joey Fatone's a delight. On the Line, great movie. Watch it.
Joey Fatone should stick to game shows and dancing because that's about all he
Joey
knows.
Fatone was in Rent, by the way.
Yeah. Game shows and dancing.
Anyway, Emmanuel Sharigi, how have neither of you watched Entourage?
No.
I know, I got to watch on. The only thing that I remembered her from before this was Wrong Turn.
Well,
okay, right.
You don't like one of the Turtle or the other one, right?
Oh, Dylan. He doesn't like Kevin Dillon.
Oh, I don't like Kevin or Matt Dillon.
That's shocking to me.
And I don't like Drive Me Crazy, Adrian Passadar or whatever his name
Grenier.
is. Yeah, Adrian Grenier.
What's your take on Piven?
Piven, I can take or leave.
Piven.
He's Chicago owned. He's Johnny C's best friend.
He peaked at Grosse Pointe Blank.
Right.
No, he peaked at Entourage. He won like every Emmy.
I gotta learn this. Yeah,
Doesn't he have like a BBC show too, like Mr. Suffrage or something?
I'm not sure.
I think I'd watch that over Entourage.
I
want to. I do want to watch Entourage. I just never have.
I could care less.
That blows my mind.
The only thing that I would watch out of Entourage would probably be the Bob Saget episodes because I hear he's delightful in those.
I hear all the episodes are delightful.
All of them, including the James Cameron arc that's in it. I know. Don't make the face. I'm a mark for Cameron.
Ugh. There's 2 movies I like of James Cameron.
Get out of my house.
One of them has a Terminator, the other one has fish, and it's not Blue Cats.
It's Piranha 2?
You know it.
So, Jim Cameron, you're not a fan?
No, there's a lot of ego stroke with him. I don't like it.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I don't like... It's like Michael Bay. Like, ugh. You ever see Michael Bay in, like, real person? He's just completely unaware. He's unattached. He's awful.
Hey, we're talking about Zohan now?
Oh, yeah, Zohan.
This movie is, it starts off ridiculous.
Yeah.
It only gets more ridiculous as it goes.
Yeah.
This is clearly, like, over the top, not the great Sly Stallone movie Over the Top, but, like, ridiculous over the top.
Is that where he drives a truck?
Yes, and
Not where he's playing a cop, right?
No.
Okay.
Well done. So, arm wrestling. Hank. Love you, Hank. So I was there, there's the whole, like, starting thing with the, wherever they are in Israel or, I don't know.
Israel.
And, he's got the great feud with Turturro, but the scenes are, like, too much, right?
Yeah.
They're goofy. Yeah.
He's got the one where he's fighting in the water.
Well, and I'm a mark for Turturro. It seems like they did Mr. Deeds, and Turturro goes, I had a lot of fun. Let's do this again sometime. And Sandler held him at gunpoint for that whole favor. Like, hey,
You make it sound like everybody lost a bet to be in this movie.
Well, or Turturro found another
I think
avenue.
anytime Denny Dugan is directing
That's
an Adam
not true.
Sandler movie, somebody lost a bet to be in it. Like,
Well, Turturro could have found a different avenue to explore, just like with Liam Neeson. Up until the time that he did Taken, he never would have known that he could have played the action hero.
and now he's only done Taken.
Right,
At
in
all.
every movie. And now John Turturro, he can say, I can do the funny comedy thing with Adam Sandler. I'm going to do as many movies with Sandler as I can. You don't think that that's what happened?
he's only done 2.
Oh, Turturro?
Yeah.
Well, he was in Anger Management. He was in...
Oh, you're right.
Deeds. He was in
Yeah.
this. He might have had
I always
some other
forget
things.
about Anger Management, but how good
I
is
love
Jack,
Anger
though?
Management. Oh, yeah. Everybody's good in that movie. Not directed by Denny Dugan, though.
No,
but
absolutely not.
Would have been way better.
Huh, I wonder if there's a correlation. That's for later.
You're awful. You're an awful person. So this, like, okay, I don't mind the idea that he wants to be not be an assassin. He wants to go be a hairdresser.
Yeah.
Whatever. I get it. That's fun. But I noted a timestamp. I don't know if we paused to pee or get a snack or something, but it was 45 minutes in and we paused it. We were not even yet to the midpoint.
Yeah.
And we were like, this movie's too fucking long. So I feel like that's one of my issues with it is, as ridiculous as it is, it would have been more acceptable if it were tighter.
Yeah.
I don't know if that we're getting to the end early, but I'm just thinking off the top of my head here.
That's
I think
the
the exact
technical
same thing.
aspect of it, right?
Yep, I think it was definitely loose. It was bullet points. I've got these funny things that I want to do, and I knew exactly when it turned for me. That I knew it was just going to be ridiculous throughout. Is when he was doing the thing at the grill, fully nude.
Yeah.
He's at the grill.
With the
he
fish.
catches the fish in the mouth.
Yeah.
And then he catches the fish in the ass cheeks, and
Yeah.
I was like, I know exactly where we're headed in
Yeah.
this movie from here on out.
But it made me smile though.
It was
Like,
funny. It was stupid. but-
You know, the few things, this is going to be, buckle up, people. This is going to be a very, very fun facts with Uncle Do light set of movies over the next couple of movies here. The one fun fact, though, is Sandler really went for it. That physique that he did, he went for that.
I read
that
about
was
that. They
him.
were going to do CGI or like a
Right.
fake
He said, absolutely
prosthetic.
not. I can do this myself. So him without a shirt, that is Sandler, and that's impressive to
Yeah,
me.
kudos to him, man.
Yeah, great ass.
I don't think that was his.
Are you sure?
There's a lot of hair.
He's a Jew.
Yeah, but
Oh man, I don't know. But anyway, kudos to him getting in shape. Yeah, that's a pretty badass move.
nope, not going to make that joke. I've got a hairy ass, Steve. Am I Jewish?
Oh, boy. When did Sandler get to the point where he could literally just write any scenario with any famous person in any location and they just give him cash and say, yes, whatever you want, you got it, whether it be the supermodel or a
What did
trip
they-
to Europe?
What's the figure on that? Like in 2005 or 2007, I think it was after Anger Management or Big Daddy, all of his movies were hitting a certain threshold.
Big Daddy was like 1999.
Okay, so just before Zohan, everything like that, he was known as box office just gold, and so of course they're just gonna, Sandler's gonna make this movie for us. That's how he got that Netflix deal.
I just think it's interesting. Like, he's always got these women that are a 10 or something. It's the Katie Holmes, or it's Jennifer Aniston, or Emmanuel Shariki, or whoever.
Well,
Drew Barrymore's maybe not a 10, but you know what I mean.
As of late, though, we've heard Selma Hayek give him credit for bringing her career to a resurgence because nobody would give her that. They thought she aged out, and here she is in Grown Ups, and now she's a hot commodity. She's doing what is it, Magic Mike 3, still miking.
But you're right, though. I think the only comedy that didn't make its money back from Anger Management on was That's My Boy.
Yeah,
that didn't make its money back.
Right.
So I think
that's interesting.
Rand, who directed That's My Boy?
Who did?
I'm pretty sure it was Denny Dugan.
I don't think it was.
I don't think it was either.
I just had the list.
Or was it one of those Lonely Island boys?
So I understand the idea that he is Joe Everyman, right? And he's supposed to be kind of the...
Well, it's a tale as old as time. It's fucking Mrs. Potts, right? We've got, like, honeymooners, Flintstones. Everybody wants to see a schlub be with the hot girl. And that's, like, we see that with Hitch, which I fucking hate. Sorry. I know you had a big anti-Smith campaign here. But Hitch, fucking hated Hitch. Because it promoted this whole thing, like, you could be a slobby idiot and you get the beautiful girl in the whole wide world. I mean, Kevin James has built his career on being a poor man's Gleason.
Yeah, I get that.
And then who directed That's My Boy? It was Sean Anders. He did Hot Tub Time Machine, Horrible Bosses 2, Dumb and Dumber 2, Daddy's Homes 1 and 2.
All the twos.
Yeah. A lot of twos.
He's the number 2.
Yeah. So,
although I didn't mind...
Sean Anders makes that, that's on Netflix now?
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, That's My Boy was funny.
I didn't mind it.
Make its money back.
You know why? Because it was rated R.
Yeah,
that's why.
I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, they saw Sandler as, he might get a little crude here and there, but at least it's not going to get to that blue point and vile and just, we're going to hear the F word every other sentence. Like, it's PG-13, so maybe you get one, and Sandler doesn't F in a PG-13.
But otherwise, his comedies, man, I mean, they make money hand over fist.
Well, right.
Who the hell wouldn't want to work with them?
Yeah.
So, Adam Sandler's got a project, I'm in.
I do think it'd be worth the try, though, to make a rated R Sandler, knowing the reputation of the comedy.
Well, Funny People was R, was it not?
Yeah, but that was drama. But
right,
sure.
so I'm not saying...
I mean,
it skirts that line, right?
I also would call it a drama, but...
dramedy, sure.
But I think, maybe it didn't pay off. That's My Boy. But I think it was worth the try.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it was a favor. Like, hey, a lot of people see the similarities between me and you, so it's a lot of fun when you do me on SNL. So why don't we do a movie together and see what happens?
And I think it says a lot that he and Sandberg really haven't done a lot together since.
No.
So maybe it's, hey, that formula is not working.
Well, I think it's that whole thing, big egos. Because, Kevin James has some comedy to him, but...
A lot of comedy?
But he doesn't chew up scenery the way that Sandler does, or the way that Sandberg...
Well, he's a number 2. He's a secondary
right.
guy, yeah. Speaking of secondary guys, let's talk about Rob Schneider for a minute.
Oh, Rob Schneidley?
Schneidley.
Yes. Rob Schneider. I will always call Rob Schneider Rob Schneidley. It's from an old SNL skit where Paul Giamatti, on his run for his Oscar-nominated role, he was the top. Sideways.
Yeah.
And so it was
great movie.
A whole thing that he was getting driven from the Golden Globes, and congratulations. And I think it was Finesse Mitchell who was his driver.
There's an under-talked about guy, a forgotten face.
And he
Finesse
goes,
Mitchell.
I know you. You're that guy, right? And he goes, yeah, I'm Paul Giamatti. I was in Sideways. I just won an award. And he goes, no, that's not it. And so Paul Giamatti starts giving him his whole list. And Finesse, no, that's not it.
You know what that sounds like? It sounds like a gag from that Jack and Jill movie.
Get out of here. You erase this. Just hit the...
You said it was
delete. Hit the delete. It's that Rob Schneidley. That's funny to me.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I think Rob Schneider is very good in this movie. I don't know. I feel like you're giving me
He
some
plays
shade
an
here.
Arab, which is both on brand and also...
That's all he does, right, in Sandler's
funny
movies.
voices.
Except for what?
Big Daddy?
Big Daddy plays a funny voice.
sure.
too.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, Hip Hop Anonymous is the
Right.
greatest line that's ever been
Grown-ups,
uttered.
like every movie that Rob Schneider is in, with aside from
I'm still
Grown-ups.
laughing about
I mean,
Hip
he
Hop
still
Anonymous.
does some funny things. Like, Maze, you know.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Grown-ups. Oh,
Yeah,
I laughed so
but he
hard.
still does funny voices in that as well. But he's a one-trick pony. He's you can do it.
But for some reason, I didn't think it 10 years ago or probably even 5 years ago. But for some reason, Rob Schneider, watching this movie, I just thought, hey, he's pretty damn good. And I went back to think about it. Rob Schneider delivers almost every time. I'm not a really big Rob Schneider
when he's
guy.
Fifth Banana.
But he's funny.
Yeah.
And he'll deliver. He'll make me laugh. He'll do his job. So I
He
like
played
it.
a pretty good Arab.
Yeah.
But you can't watch him alone in his own way with a hot chick.
Well, or the
No.
animal.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah.
animal.
Bad movie. Yeah, if he's the number one,
Yeah,
it's
no.
it's poor.
I
But
will say, I don't know why. I must have seen it at just the right time. I can go back and rewatch The Animal.
it
is weird.
That
I'm
feels
embarrassed.
wrong.
Oh,
I'm embarrassed
Oh,
about
you
this.
better cut that part
Oh,
out.
boy. Oh,
getting some real second ick vibes over here.
Rob Schneider, I'm sorry.
He's not. He hits to a certain demographic right now. Ugh,
You know
where
what?
was he January 6th?
Wow.
He does. Have you seen his Twitter? It's wild right now.
So, did you see the Kennedy Center honors, the Adam Sandler
Yes.
thing, the clips where
I don't think I watched the whole thing, but I've seen parts of it.
there were some really great ones.
Sure.
Steve Buscemi's was awesome.
Yeah.
But Rob Schneider got up on stage and said, hey, basically, thank you for my career, because
Sure.
how else would I be here where I am
Right.
right now? I thought it was really humble and cool.
Yeah.
That is really nice. I was looking at my notes here for some other people that are in this movie.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that awful person.
Nick Swartzen.
Well, no, I guess not Nick Swartzen. But we can talk about Nick Swartzen, who looks like a grown-up Thurman Merman in
Yeah.
this movie. He's another one of those hanger-ons.
Yep. And
I don't
he
know.
doesn't
Yeah.
add anything to it.
Well, he's got one speed.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything else.
Yeah.
So you get sick of it real quick.
Like he was okay in Grandma's Boy, but like
I thought he was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he called his parents his roommates.
right.
And it's like, ha ha ha, that's funny. It's the first time I'd heard it up to that point, and he just is that
His,
humor
his relationship with the mom from
for the last 20 years.
from
Partridge Family?
Partridge Family.
Yeah.
Like, in this movie, he kind of had the Josh Gad role from Pixels.
Yeah.
But Gad was 10 times better at it.
Oh sure.
Yeah.
That's
Then-
because
Because he's funny.
Gad's got comedic timing.
Right. And Swartzen does not.
Right.
Right. Anyway, the person I was gonna bring up was that fucker Dave Matthews, who I hate.
Christ.
I hate Dave Matthews so bad.
That
Why
makes-
do I like him better as an actor than I do as a singer?
Well, he's better at anything than he is at being a singer.
I mean, he's really good at dumping shit on people too. He asked the people of Chicago.
Oh my
Shit
God!
come marching out my.
This is a real story.
Yeah.
Like, he literally parked his tour bus on the bridge in Chicago and unloaded his shitter into the Chicago River.
Yeah, Upper Wecker just left a load of whackers all over.
Oh my God, he had a great mustache in this movie, though. I do love a good mustache. A well-placed mustache really does go a
Much
long
better
way.
actor than he is anything else.
Well, yes, but overall, I can't stand the man.
Yeah, fuck him.
A load of whackers. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I hate Dave Matthews too. So that makes three of us.
Is there any way we can keep moving on with this train of Zohan? Because I think we pretty much said everything we can.
Well, let me see here. I think.
I mean, there were some funny parts. Like, as far as the plot of the movie goes, you know, I don't know. Like, it went on way too long. I get
Yeah.
it. But what you were going to bring up a specific something or other?
Well, the
Rocky montage.
Yeah, the Rocky. I mean, even Rocky had a montage, and I loved it so much. And the fact that he went to go punch, the raw beef. And then upgrades from there, and then the live cow that was mooing as he was punching it.
That was
you
hilarious.
love a good.
I laughed.
Yeah,
I
I'm
did
not
too.
proud of it, but I laughed.
Yeah, we both laughed.
You love a good sight gag like
I
that.
laughed.
do.
The same thing when he broke the egg and a live chicken fell out.
God.
That was hilarious. That's the kind of stuff I think is so funny.
I mean, it was a little much, but I did laugh at that too. I liked
Yeah,
it.
you like a good sight gag. I know you.
I do. And I mean, a Rocky gag.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Can't do wrong.
Okay, all right. So let's move this train, this big fat goose egg, of rolling.
No, but I don't think it was that bad. It was way too long. I think we can agree on that.
It was long. But, dude, you brought this to the table, and
did.
you're over it already.
Yeah, I didn't like it in the first place. I was like, you know.
But you wanted us to watch it.
It was one of those
Is it like-
situations where it was like, where do we find a
Co-misery.
movie? Yeah,
I kinda like
a
that,
comedy
though.
movie that you
I
guys.
saw a
can't
movie
find.
that was so bad that you guys got to see this.
You got to see this piece of shit.
I know the feeling.
Save it for later.
All right, well, I guess we have to go first because he already had a pre-existing condition here with this movie.
All right, so with Zohan, I did laugh.
Yeah.
I enjoyed some parts of it. Will I go back and rewatch? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think I can't see a reason why I would ever go back and rewatch unless somebody said, "Hey, let's watch Zohan."
I think I did the same thing you guys did. I paused it at 45 and I had to take a lap because it was just
Yeah,
a bad taste.
it wears you out real quick.
It
But
wears you out. It's too much. It's a little. It's a little like all the time. It didn't
this
breathe.
was a little too much, but not.
It didn't breathe. You know what I mean?
yeah, let it age a bit.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But with a score, I think I'm going 4.5 out of 10 on this one.
All right.
I'm gonna have 4.5.
You're also which one is it?
4.5.
4.5.
We're going 4. Dew and I are matching on scores.
Yeah.
That's the first time we've ever matched.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, so I actually gave it a straight 4.
Lower.
A
You
little
laughed harder.
I
but
did.
Wow.
I did. And here's the thing though. It was way better than I ever thought it was going to be.
Okay.
As from a me laughing and being entertained standpoint.
Sure.
I thought that I was going to be zeroly entertained the whole time. And yes, it was stupid. Yes, it was too long. But I thought it was hilarious at times.
Mm-hmm.
And for that reason, I can't justify going much lower than that. I think it's better than. I personally think it's better than Little Nicky. I think it's.
Yep.
I can rate it higher than some. So I was pleasantly surprised. So yeah, I think that's where I'm going. It was a straight 4.
So like you going averages here, we're going at 4.25.
Yeah. So we're about 4.25 for average.
That's low.
We all agree though. Like I think
Yep.
this is. I mean, I guess we basically agreed on the last one.
Yeah.
And we all kind of agree on this one. That's unusual for us.
It is.
Which is going to be wildly different soon.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, stay tuned for our next episode.
Once again, everybody, this is To The Table. Like, subscribe, hit us up on all of our socials. We've got TikTok, we've got YouTube, we've got Twitter, we've on the Facebooks, Instagram. So definitely a comment and a like on our YouTube. That helps us out. Wherever you get your podcasts, we're there too. Give us a like and a subscribe there as well.
We'd love to hear your rating on the YouTube comments. Give it a number. See if you're in accord with us.
And we're always up for topics. Maybe throw a movie out. Hey, have you guys ever seen this? And maybe we'll bring it to the table in future episodes.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So, thank you, Randy and Steve, for joining me once again to You Don't Mess with the Zohan. And
I will never again mess with the Zohan.
I don't think any of us is messing with the Zohan. Have a great rest of your night.
Bye-bye.
See you, everybody.